So let us start with internal combustion engines. So this, if you look at this entire word, it is made up of three things. One is internal, second one is combustion, and the third one is engines. So first, let us see what is an engine. So engine, if you see, or if you call it as a machine, or if you say it as a device. So this is something which uh, takes heat from a source and converts it into work. Now, when we are talking specifically about mechanical engineering, this is mechanical work. And in 99% of the cases, it is mechanical work only. So, any device that takes heat from a source and converts it into a mechanical work, it is called as an engine, machine, or a device. Now, if you talk about heat, this heat is derived from burning of fuel. This is the primary source of heat where fuel is being burnt and it is being used uh, or it has been converted. This heat energy is being converted by a mechanical system where number of parts are moving in tandem and they produce mechanical work out of it. Now, if you talk about internal combustion engine, so the short form it is written as IC engines. So IC engines are a reciprocating heat engine. A reciprocating heat engine. So what do you mean by heat engine? Heat engine means a engine or a device which is taking heat as its input and giving you work as an output. So every engine will give you mechanical work as an output, but if you say it as a heat engine, that means it is taking heat as its input, where it is a reciprocating heat engine where fuel is mixed. Fuel is mixed with appropriate amount of air to burn inside a closed compartment. So an IC engine is a reciprocating heat engine where fuel is mixed with a appropriate amount of air and it produces heat, and this entire burning process takes place within a closed compartment. So if you are saying that you are having IC engines, means if you have internal combustion engines, then you must also be having external combustion engines. So an IC engine, what you do is the production of heat and work take place in the same system. So all your car, buses, trucks, motorcycles, etc. These are called as internal combustion engines, where within a system itself, the fuel is burned, and the production of mechanical work also takes place in that system itself. You do not take that heat out from the system for production of work. Whereas in an external combustion engine, the examples are boilers. In boilers, what happens that you are producing heat at a different source. That heat in the form of steam is being carried out to a different location where that steam is used to run a turbine and mechanical work is being produced. So in the case of external combustion engines, what happens is that heat is being produced inside the boiler which is placed at a different location, and that heat is carried out or taken from one location to another, so that you have a greater amount of so that that heat can be converted into work. If you talk in terms of efficiency, IC engines, they have a close to around 30 to 35% efficiency, whereas external combustion engines have 15 to 20% efficiency. The efficiency that is being recorded or is around 30 to 35% for IC engines and 15 to 20% for external combustion engines. So if you look at the roads, that the vehicles that we are driving, they are not running at more than 35% efficiency. So you have a lot of scope for research where the fuel efficiency or the conversion from heat to work may be improved substantially, so that you generate a large amount of work from the same amount of heat being produced. Okay, so if you see IC engines, examples are car, buses, trucks, automobiles, even the diesel engines that we use in railways, those are IC engines. If you talk of external combustion engines, the examples are boilers, etc. And these boilers can also be locomotive boilers. So locomotive boilers means you have railway engines being run on coal. So that is an example of an external combustion engine where heat is being produced at a different source and work is being taken out at a different location. Obviously, it lies within the same machinery, but heat is being carried from one location to another. So these are examples of both IC engines and uh, external combustion engines. So if you see ahead further, if you look at the comparison of IC engines and if you look at the comparison of IC engines and uh, external combustion engines, the first here is it has high efficiency. This has high efficiency and this has low efficiency. The efficiency is low as if you compare both of them. And IC engines are compact and small in size, whereas an external combustion engines are uh, bulky. They are bulky and uh, large in size. The reason why they are bulky and larger size is because heat has to be produced somewhere, then this heat has to be carried from one location to another. That makes the entire system very big. It has low weight to power ratio. It has low weight to power ratio, and here it has high weight to power ratio. Okay, so that means the size of the engine, the ratio of the size of the engine to the amount of power developed, it is quite low in the case of internal combustion engines, whereas it is high for external combustion engines. This is easy to fabricate, easy, and has low starting time. And this is uh, high, it has high starting time. So what do you mean by starting time? If you look at your cars, etc., just by using a switch, you can start the engine and your engine starts to run and you start producing mechanical work. Whereas in the case of external combustion engines, what happens is you need to heat the source the working fluid. Generally, it is water. You need to heat the working fluid, and once a certain pressure has been achieved, or once a certain temperature of the working fluid has been achieved, then only you can use that fluid to generate mechanical work. So this requires a higher amount of starting time, because starting from an ambient conditions, a level has to be achieved so that it is usable, or that heat is usable. And the last is, it requires less maintenance. It requires less maintenance and operating cost. And here both are high. So once the size of the engine is less, you have lesser number of parts, so the maintenance is reduced, and the operating cost means the running cost of the engine is also reduced. Whereas in the case of external combustion engines, when you have more number of parts, you have more maintenance, and when you have more maintenance, the operating cost also increases to a substantial amount. Now let us classify IC engines. So if you classify IC engines, so let us look at classification of IC engines. So if you look at classification of IC engines, first classification is based on number of strokes. So if you talk in terms of number of strokes, IC engines are classified as two-stroke engine or four-stroke engine. Now, what do you mean by stroke? So, if you see, there are four processes that need to be followed for any IC engine to complete one cycle of operation. So, the first one is, or let us say the four strokes are: first is compression, then heat addition, expansion, and exhaust. These are the four processes. Let it be any type of IC engines, it has to undergo these four processes, and upon successful completion of these four processes, it one cycle is completed. So, if these steps are completed in two strokes, two stroke means, if you say this is a cylinder and this is a piston. So one forward movement is one stroke, one backward movement is the other stroke. So in one forward and backward movement of the piston, if all these four processes are accomplished, then it is called as a two-stroke engine. If for every event the piston, if for compression the piston moves first up, for heat addition the compression the piston starts moving down. So if all these four processes are carried out in two movement of the piston, if in one two stroke means one rotation, one complete rotation of the piston means the piston is going up and coming down, this is two stroke. So if two times the piston goes up and comes down, it is a four stroke. So if four processes are carried out in two movement of the piston, it is called as a four-stroke engine. If all these four operations are carried out in one rotation of the piston, it is called as a two-stroke engine. So depending upon the number of strokes, the engines, IC engines are classified as two-stroke and four-stroke. This is the reason why we do not have a one-stroke, three-stroke, six-stroke, eight-stroke engine. The classification is strictly limited to two stroke or four stroke, because the entire cycle can be completed either by uh, one revolution of the piston or two revolution of the piston. Okay. So next is the next classification is thermodynamic cycle. IC engines are classified under with the help of thermodynamic cycles. So if we talk about thermodynamic cycles, you have Otto cycle and you have diesel cycle. So Otto cycle is called as a constant volume cycle, and this is called as a constant pressure cycle. Now, a very thermodynamic cycles, the definition of thermodynamic cycles means the entire, all these four processes have to be carried out based upon certain thermodynamic principles. So thermodynamic principle, if the principle is according to Otto cycle, then it is classified under the IC engine is working under Otto cycle. If it follows the diesel cycle, then it is working under the diesel cycle. So if you talk about mm, on auto cycle is limited to all petrol and gas engines. All petrol and gas engines, they work under Otto cycle, and all diesel vehicles, they follow the diesel cycle for their operation. Now the third classification is ignition system. If you talk about ignition system, again there are two classifications. One is spark ignition and the second one is compression ignition. Now, spark ignition means when you have seen the four processes, the second step was heat addition. Now, heat addition means the fuel has to be burnt. If the burning process is carried out with the help of a spark, then it is called as a spark ignition system IC engine. If it takes place with the help of pressure or heat generated due to compression, if the temperature is raised within the cylinder with the help of compression means you are increasing the pressure. If you are increasing the pressure, that means you are increasing the temperature. If due to production of high temperature the burning of fuel takes place, then it is falls under compression ignition system. So petrol and gas engines work under spark ignition, and compression ignition, diesel is burned inside the cylinder with the help of a compression engine system. Okay, so there are two modes of ignition. Now the next classification is type of fuel used. So type of fuel used, you have number of classifications: petrol, diesel, gas. So electric vehicles, they do not fall under this category because electric vehicles are using electricity as their power mode and they are running with the help of uh, electrical energy. So in that case, it completely does not fall under the IC engine category, because IC engines are those engines which are using heat as their primary heat source input and they are converting it to mechanical work. Whereas in the case of electrical vehicles or electric vehicles, they are using electrical energy as their input and they are producing mechanical work in return. So they are called as electrical engines. They are not called as IC engines. In IC engines, the basic three types of fuel that are used are petrol, diesel, and gas. So petrol, you all know; diesel, again, you all know; and gas, You have some engines, they run on CNG. There are some engines which run on LPG. So you have number of sources through which uh, ignition can take place, or the fuel, or this is the source of the primary fuel which is used to run the engine. Okay. Now the next is number of cylinders and its arrangement. So this is your fifth category, I believe, fifth or sixth. So this is number of cylinders and its arrangements. So if you talk about number of cylinders, now let us say that mm, you have purchased a bike of 100 cc, or you have a car of 1200 cc. Let us say these are two examples. This is a motorcycle, you can call it as a bike, and this is, you have a car of 1200 cc. So what does this cc means? Cc is cubic centimeter. Okay. So cc means cubic centimeter, and 1000 cc is equal to 1 liter. So 100 cc means, this cc here in the terms of engines means volume of the cylinder. This is the volume of the cylinder. So if you say 1200 cc, that means this is the combined volume of the cylinders. Now in 1200 cc petrol engines, if you say 1200 cc petrol engines, there are generally four cylinders. There are four cylinders. So four cylinders means of 300 cc each. So all these four cylinders, they work in tandem and they produce heat energy. Now in an 100 cc bike, you have a single cylinder. Now you can always ask a question, why don't we have a single cylinder of 1200 cc? 1200 cc single cylinder means the amount of fuel which will be burnt inside a single cylinder will be of huge amount, and it will lead to a sudden production of heat energy. So you will not get continuous heat supply, or you will not get continuous work supply. This work supply will be in spurts, और you can say झटके ले लेके गाड़ी चलेगी. ठीक है, 1200 सीसी अगर आपका बहुत ज़्यादा, जैसे आपको लकड़ी पर अगर आग लगानी है, तो हम करते क्या है, थोड़ा थोड़ा सा उसमें केरोसिन या पेट्रोल डालते हैं. अगर आप अचानक से ज़्यादा पेट्रोल डाल दो या ज़्यादा केरोसिन डाल दो, तो बहुत तेज लपट निकलेगी. तो बहुत तेज जब लपट निकलेगी, तो उससे क्या हो रहा है, पेट्रोल जल रहा है, लकड़ी नहीं जल रही है. यू आर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग अ ह्यूज अमाउंट. तो अगर आपको उसको कंटिन्यूसली जलाए रखना है, तो आपको थोड़े थोड़े अमाउंट पे आपको पेट्रोल सप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, ताकि वो लकड़ी जलती रहे. सिमिलरली हियर, if you want the engine to run, you cannot run it on a 1200 cc single cylinder, because that will produce a huge amount of energy. Now, it is not that you do not have 1200 cc single cylinder engines. You have motorcycles which run on 1000 cc single cylinder engines. So those are special purpose motorcycles which are used for racing purposes. Or they are supposed to run at high power. Now 1200 cc car like i10, i20, etc., these are not supposed to generate a high amount of power. So if you say that higher the amount of cc, greater is the power produced. Because if you look at engines, if you look at BMW, you have 3-liter engines. So 3-liter engines means the cc of the engine is more, 3000 cc. If the cc is more, more amount of fuel is burned. More amount of fuel burnt means more amount of heat is produced. More amount of heat produced means more amount of work produced. So greater the cc of the engine, greater is the power being produced. Now the next classification is fuel supply system. So fuel supply systems, you have carburetor, you have solid injection, and the third one you have air injection. Okay, so now carburetor means all these three can be used for both petrol and diesel engines. Carburetor is sorry, diesel engines do not use carburetors. Only petrol engines use carburetors. This is a device where air and petrol are mixed in requisite requisite quantities. Here, air and petrol are mixed in requisite quantities and then supplied to the engine for burning process or heat addition process. Solid injection means this is this is used to pressurize fuel, uh, pressurize fuel before it enters cylinder. And this is used to pressurize air before it enters cylinder. So, carburetor, what is the function of a carburetor? Carburetor is used to mix air and petrol in the requisite amount or quantities or in ratio. Let us say it is 8 is to 1. That means 8 amount of air by volume and 1 amount of petrol by volume will be mixed in a homogeneous mixture inside the carburetor, and then this mixture will be supplied to the cylinder for burning purpose. In the case of solid injection, what we have a mechanized system where diesel is pressurized before, means the pressure is increased before it is entered into the cylinder. So increase in pressure means you are actually uh, enabling it. Increasing pressure means you are increasing the temperature by a certain amount before it is entering into the cylinder so that the burning takes place. Why we need to do this for diesel specifically? Petrol, the ignition temperature is less. Diesel, the ignition temperature is more. So ignition temperature means the temperature at which the substance just catches fire. So you need to increase the temperature of the fuel before it enters the cylinder, because we need to burn it, and that much ignition temperature has to be achieved. So part of it is achieved by increasing the pressure of the fuel, and part of it is increased by increasing the pressure of the air. So hot air, when it is pumped onto the fuel catches fire. In the case of air injection, what we do is we pressurize air before it is supplied to the cylinder, because part of it, the part of the temperature raise process will be taking place outside the cylinder, and hot air is being supplied into the cylinder, which is further compressed and increases the temperature of the air, so that when fuel is being sprayed onto it, the fuel will catch fire and heat addition process takes place. Now the next is cooling system. Now when heat is being produced, you need to cool the system or cool the system from outside, because if you don't cool it, what will happen? Due to continuous increase in heat, the metallic component like the piston and the cylinder, these are all metallic components. So when heat has been continuously produced over a period of time, it will lead to production of cracks, and it may melt, eventually it may melt. So you need to cool the engine also. So cooling system, one is an air cooled engine, and the next one is a water cooled engine. So if you say an air cooled engine, two wheelers like motorcycle and auto rickshaws, etc. These are air cooled engines. Means when you move ahead, when you ride the vehicle, what happens? Air continuously comes in contact with the engine and carries away the heat. So the cooling of the engine takes place due to the air which is being flowing onto the engine at a high velocity. Because if you are running at 60 kilometers per hour speed, that means air is also striking the cylinder from the outside at 60 kilometer per hour speed, and due to forced convection it is carrying away that certain amount of heat. So that is an air cooled engine type of mechanism or cooling system. In a water cooled engine, what happens? You have water which flows inside the radiator of the engine in the form of water jackets. So water or lubricant or coolant that you say, it flows within the system and it carries away the heat, and this heat is further dissipated outside with the help of a radiator. So water cooled engine is that engine where water is used as a air is also there, but water is also used as a mechanism, because greater these are used in cars, bus, trucks, etc., where greater amount of fuel is burned. So when you have more amount of fuel burnt, you have more amount of heat being produced, and if more amount of heat is being produced, then obviously you require more amount of cooling also. Okay, and the last type of classification is classification of IC engines based on speed. So engines which run at greater than 900 rpm are called as high speed engines. So engines which are running at uh, more than 900 rpm are called as high speed engines, and if they are running at less than 400 rpm, if you are running at less than 400 rpm, they are called as slow speed engines, and 400 to 900 they are called as intermediate or medium speed engines. Now the last one is application based. So application one is stationary stationary IC engines, and the second one is mobile IC engines. So stationary IC engines, you can say pumping sets, these sets that you have seen in your household, not in household, but in farms, where you have a diesel generator which is used to create suction, and water is being pulled from below the earth's surface. So these diesel gensets, these are stationary because they are placed at a specific location. The gensets, electricity producing gensets, which are placed at your flats, apartments, etc., those are stationary IC engines where heat is being produced and the engine itself is not running on wheels. Whereas a mobile IC engines means it is an IC engine which is running on wheels, and it is producing power on the go. So this is all about IC engines and classification of IC engines.